Hello, my name is Tintern Abbey. I'm a solitary pagan witch. I'm an author and the founder of the Wolf and Howl Press. And today I thought I would talk to you a little bit about kindness and getting our priorities right. Because since my last lot of videos went out, I got a bit of flack on social media. Firstly, for the way I looked, that I had let myself go. And secondly, because my kitchen was untidy. Well, the reason I'm not in my kitchen today is just that Mr. Penry is busy out there doing some bits and pieces. He needs to do some woodwork, so I thought I would come down here to my shed. We've given it a fancy name. We call it the scriptorium, which is a bit of a standing joke between me and Mr. Penry. I'll tell you it if you like. Since you've been kind enough to drop in and visit. What it was many years ago when we were first married, which is well over 40 years now, we had gone to Tintern Abbey, and I remember we were wandering round, and I said to Mr. Penry, I said, hang on, I said, I can hear writing. And he said, what do you mean you can hear writing? I said, well, I can hear the scratching of a quill on parchment. And we didn't think much of it, but then after that we had a little look at the maps that were up on boards, I think at the time, and discovered that where I had been when I heard this sound was in fact in the scriptorium, where the monks used to write out their manuscripts. So, as I say, standing joke between us, and this is what I call my shed. And I do some writing here. When I'm well enough to come down here, it's quite an effort, but when I'm well enough to come down here into the garden, I do a bit of writing, which is lovely. It's so nice and peaceful most of the time. I do get a bit of noise sometimes, but that's natural. I don't live in the middle of nowhere. So talking about being kind, it's very important, I think, when you're a witch, to know when to turn off. I'm not saying don't argue a point if something seems wrong. You're perfectly entitled to turn around and say, hang on a minute, I think that's not quite right. But don't be snarky for the sake of it. Don't get nasty with people just because you can, because trust me, we can all do it. I try not to lose my temper, but people who know me would say that if I do, it's a volcanic experience. I really do. I mean, my temper is quite famous and ferocious, but it's not something I go out of my way to do, and it's not something I want to do. I get pushed into a corner and then I do it. And it might happen once every couple of years, but that's because I try not to get into those situations and to walk away when I can. Sometimes people won't let you. So that's one thing. As a witch, I think it's very important not to waste your energy. You use enough energy making spells, doing whatever it is you feel your path calls you to do. It could be reading or research or whatever. But don't waste your energy on things that are they're just nasty. You know, I had a mother and an auntie, whenever they went out, they would snigger at people. And when they came home, they would draw horrible little cartoons of people they'd seen out. And these were not, I mean, I like cartoons. I used to love the Giles cartoon books. If you're in the US, you may not know what these are, but they were wonderful, honestly. But they were funny because they had funny captions, and they were quite, they made you laugh in a nice way. But my mother and my auntie, that was not their purpose. Their purpose was to make things horrible, to exaggerate things that were, in their eyes, not right, or were, what can you say, they were laughable in their eyes, but in a nasty way. There are good ways of laughing at things. Nobody likes a good, that's the dogs, nobody likes a good belly laugh more than I do. But I don't like nasty laughing. I don't like making fun of people for the sake of it. It's horrible. So that's a little bit of advice for this video. I don't want to go on too long. Just a little bit of advice saying, please just concentrate on the things that matter, and the things that don't matter, well, just leave them alone. Walk on by, Smile, bow and pass on, as the saying used to be. That's what my mother-in-law used to say. Smile, bow and pass on. Anyway, that's enough. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.